I have a pretty fun review for you today. I have got my hands on a whole bunch of Mayco Jungle Gems glazes, and I'm going to test them out at Cone 6. So apparently they sell sample sizes of some of these Jungle Gems glazes, and I thought they would be perfect to go on some little teeny bud vases. Since I'm going to be firing these glazes hot, I'm expecting a lot of movement, I'm expecting a lot of melt, so I'm not going to be going all the way down to the bottom with the glaze. So what I'm going to do is dump in Studio White first, and then I'm going to put the glaze just over this section here. So I'll let you see a couple of these. Sorry, my cat's jumping around in the background over there. So yeah, just quick 1-second dips on all of these. Just gonna keep it the same so that we can kind of see how the different glazes compare to each other. And then if any of them look really, really good, maybe I'll do like an individual review where we try it over a bunch of different other glazes to see how the colors affect each other. But for this test, I just want to see how the colors are sort of by themselves. Just for fun. Some extra bubbling noises. All right, here we go. I'm starting with Lotus Blossom. And go on that rim too. And I did store these upside down for a little while, and then I did shake them up. All right, that's Lotus Blossom. Okay, here we go with Spotted Kiwi. I wish I knew how much this was going to move. Hopefully not very much. All right, here we go. Spotted Kiwi. Monsoon Seas. Boy, I sure hope these don't all hit my kiln shelf. Nothing like running a big test and not knowing the outcome. Okay, that's Monsoon Seas. Oriental Caramel? I don't know how I feel about that name. I hope these are going to be fun and not just weird looking. Now this one is everybody's favorite. I see it used a lot. Poppy Fields. I considered just buying Poppy Fields and not the other ones, but I figured people would want to know, and maybe there's something else worth buying besides Poppy Fields. You never know. All right. I have high hopes for you. All right, Citrus Splash. I love the color of it when it's wet. I feel like it's gonna be a really bright color. I wonder who comes up with these names. Who's like sitting around and being like, you know what, this one looks like peacock eyes. I don't know. It's kind of a creepy name on this one. All right. Peacock eyes it is. Ready for the kiln. Cappuccino Mint. I'm not gonna lie, if I wasn't already committed to doing this whole thing, I probably would have skipped this one. Cappuccino and mint does not sound like... It sounds like a brown combo, and you know how much I hate brown combos. Sorry, I'm trying to learn to love brown combos. It's a struggle for me. Okay. I did like that Red Lotus glaze though. Herb Garden, that sounds a little nicer. Maybe it's like all kinds of different multicolored specks. Plum jelly, a very promising color to start with. Though you never know, I mean, the color could really burn out at cone 6. Some of those pinks and purples don't love firing hot, so it'll be a mystery. Tahiti grape. I accidentally spilled some of this one on my counter, but we've still got enough to do a test. And our last one is called, oops, I don't have it on camera. Oh, I almost dumped it. Northern Lights. I wish I knew how far was too far down to go. It's all right. You guys can learn from my mistakes if this is a mistake. Here we go. Looks good. Okay, my brushes are all dirty and these are ready for the kiln. All right, the results are out of the kiln and they're a little bit underwhelming. I was expecting brighter colors. When these went into the kiln, there were some really, really bright colors. But I think what we're showing is that a lot of these colors just burn out at cone 6. So there were a lot of colors that just kind of turned bluish. But let's jump over to the photo table and look at each one of these examples by itself and see if there might be some more potential to it. Starting with Cappuccino Mint here. So yes, it was brown with green specks. You can see, do you see that slight crackle there? So some of these Gems glazes are of a higher expansion and pretty close to that bottom edge. This is Poppy Fields. It looks like I could have gone a little thicker with that. And just as a bonus, this is Poppy Fields on a flatter dish with a little bit heavier coat. And this is Poppy Fields over a Hansen glaze with tangerine stain. So the Jungle Gems didn't crawl, but it also, the in-between of these crystals, I guess I was thinking it was going to be more of an opaque white, where really it's kind of clear. So in one way it's kind of nice if you're just trying to layer in some spots, but the glaze isn't a strong color on its own. This is Oriental Caramel. And sorry about my nails, I've been throwing brown bear clay and you know how that goes. It makes your hands look really dirty even though they're not. Yeah, I like these spots of green here. I don't hate this as much as I thought I would. Spotted Kiwi. I definitely, so this one has a couple spots where it has like sort of white hard spots in it, and I'm not sure what that's coming from. I did a second test of that on a ring dish, and it also has a white hard spot on it. And this was a thicker coat. Just interesting to note that it has the same imperfection on both surfaces. Tahiti grape. And randomly a couple small spots that are actually purplish, but mostly blue. And it does have one hard spot there. I'm not sure if that's me or the glaze. I did do a bonus test with Tahiti grape. This was Tahiti grape over micro pearl, but the color you're seeing here is largely the Bermuda color from the inside that was just kind of pulled down by the Tahiti grape. So created some fluid movement, but it didn't have a lot of its own color to add, just some of the specks. Yeah, and you can see a few pinholes in that one too. And this is Lotus Blossom. Northern Lights. I don't know what I was expecting here. I think it's interesting how much this glaze sort of moves by itself with no flux added. Plum Jelly, I was definitely expecting purple. I don't dislike this blue speckle, but I just was expecting purple. So Citrus Splash did hold its color, and it does have some specks that show up. So, you know, like Poppy Fields, that one seems like it's in a color palette that will hold up to cone 6. Let's just say it didn't move very much either. And this is Herb Garden, and I definitely love the speckles in this one, but as you can see, this one probably crazed the most of the ones that I tried. You know, these are bud vases. I don't mind a crackle glaze on the outside of a bud vase, but just heads up, as far as functional surfaces go, probably not with Herb Garden. I feel like it has a lot of potential to layer though, which is those sort of different colored specks. The oddly named Peacock Eyes. I guess I can see it, maybe. I think this is interesting right here where the blue sort of bleeds out. And this is Monsoon Seas. This has got a slight imperfection here. I'm not sure why.
So while these glazes weren't quite what I expected, I really thought I was going to get a lot of color out of these, especially because they're so bright in the jars. But these glazes are really low fire glazes, and when you're trying to bring that up in temperature, you're getting more of a fluid look, but you're also getting a washed out look. So yeah, Poppy Fields, obviously that was cool. Citrus Splash kept its color. You know, I think Tahiti Grape, that's a nice color, even though it's not the purple I was hoping for. You know, and Northern Lights, which one is that right here, has a lot of movement in it. So these other ones are similar enough to each other to not be standout purchases to me. Spotted Kiwi, I think Textured Kiwi by Spectrum, I believe, is a really nice cone 6 glaze that I think has a little bit more color with a little bit of speckling, and no white spots that are so yeah, Spotted Kiwi, I like where this one was going, but I think Textured Kiwi is the stronger glaze there. Herb Garden has a lot of potential as long as you don't mind crazing. I do like the color palette of those spots. Yeah, overall, slightly underwhelming, but you know, it's good to know. It's good to know what you can expect color-wise when you start to up the temperature on these. And for the most part, though, I think I will be using these on possibly some more raku-style mushrooms so that I can get a little bit brighter color out of these glazes. Thanks for watching. I hope this was a help to you and maybe saved you a purchase on a few of these. Have a good day, everyone.